اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة.
Be peaceful, orderly and kind, no crushing.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج. صدق الله العظيم.
God says in the Holy Quran, "For Hajj are the months well known. If anyone undertakes that duty, therein let there be no obscenity or wickedness nor wrangling." Our brothers and sisters, the pilgrims, God has blessed you with the opportunity to perform this great rite, which millions of Muslims look forward to. And for your convenience and safety, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia spares nothing to make your pilgrimage as comfortable as possible. But we ask you, our sisters and brothers, to help us make your lifetime visit to the holiest places of Islam comfortable and safe, so that you and all pilgrims can devote themselves to worship.
أخي الحاج أختي الحاجة.
My brothers and sisters, the pilgrims, in the land of the two holiest mosques of Islam, I welcome you on behalf of the King, government, and people of Saudi Arabia. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is blessed by the honor of serving the God's house. We welcome you, brothers and sisters, praying that Allah would make your pilgrimage easy and convenient. And we ask Allah to bless your Hajj with bountiful rewards. Our Prophet, peace be upon him, told us to follow in his footsteps when we perform our rites. He directed his companions to be peaceful, orderly and quiet in Hajj. This is the instructions we should follow when we perform the rites of Tawaf, Sa'i and at Jamarat. We should also abide by the time schedule for ongoing to Jamarat in groups, so that extreme overcrowding can be avoided. And we can make use of the religious permissions as the Prophet told us to do when he said, Allah likes to see the permissions he gives being used by the believers. May Allah bless your Hajj and reward you bountifully for your good deeds. Our sisters and brothers, the pilgrims, every one of you has a mutawaf guide who is responsible for your accommodation and advising you on the performance of pilgrimage. But there are some pilgrims who squatter in the street, the footpaths around the two holy mosques and in the holy sites. They cause much inconvenience to other pilgrims and disrupt the flow of pilgrims' movement and traffic, including emergency vehicles and ambulances. These comfortable tents are set up for all pilgrims. Our sisters and brothers, the pilgrims. Some of the pilgrims, when circumambulating the Kaaba, push and pull others, hurting themselves and other pilgrims. Some of the aged and weak people may go to Tawaf and Sa'i at overcrowding times. Others may carry their children while doing the Tawaf without asking the Mutawif's advice. Still others race and jostle wanting to climb Mount Arafat. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "You can be in devotion anywhere in Arafat area." And here at Jamarat, we wish to give you some safety advice that will help you to avoid overcrowding that sometimes cause fatalities or injuries because of suffocation or stampede. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has undertaken to enlarge the Jamarat Bridge in order to provide a wider space and thus prevent extreme crowding and decrease the resultant incidence of crushing. But you, our sisters and brothers, the pilgrims, can prevent such regrettable mishaps by following the safety rules. Our sisters and brothers, the pilgrims, the efforts by the Ministry of Hajj to serve you depend on your cooperation with your mutawwif. You should consult him on every matter relating to the performance of your Hajj, but especially when the time comes to stone the devil at Jamarat. The ministry has drawn a plan for the movements of pilgrims after undertaking an in-depth study with the involvement of Mecca and Medina Development Commission and the Ministry of Interior. Considerations were given to the peak hours, accommodation capacity of Jamarat Bridge, views of religious schools, the Mutawwif's suggestions, and the wishes, customs, and traditions of pilgrims groups. Upon the recommendations of the study and after meeting with the heads of pilgrim missions, the ministry has drawn a time schedule assigning for groups of pilgrims the time for going to stone the devil at Jamarat. You can find these schedules with your mutawwif, and please stick to the time assigned to your group for your comfort and safety and everybody else's. Every mutawwif organization has its own special team for directing its pilgrims to the Jamarat Bridge. The assistants in these teams carry signs indicating the office number and the pilgrim's group number. They know which way to take and from which place the pilgrims can stone the devil, either from the upper or the lower level of the